Imagine a world where your code, well, almost writes itself, where bugs just vanish with a simple prompt and innovation just speeds up like crazy. Is AI really going to transform how we code and reshape the whole programming industry? What does this actually mean for your future as a developer?
That's what we're diving deep into today. Welcome to the Deep Dive. This is where we take your questions, sift through the sources, and really unpack them to give you the crucial insights. And today, we're looking at the profound impact of artificial intelligence on software development and how the role of programmers and developers is evolving.
That's right. We've synthesized quite a bit of information for you. We've looked at developer surveys, industry reports, some forward-looking analyses too. Our goal here is really to give you a comprehensive picture of how AI is already changing things and how it's likely to continue changing the coding landscape and, well, the job market too. The mission really is to equip you with the knowledge you need to navigate this shift so you understand not just what's happening, but crucially, why it matters for your career. Okay, let's unpack that a bit. Developers, for years, they've always relied on each other, right? Scouring forums like Stack Overflow, digging through GitHub for answers. But now, generative AI, it feels like it's doing more than just making that search easier. It's becoming this kind of answer engine, understanding natural language, giving precise answers to really complex coding problems.
Yeah, what's truly fascinating, I think, is how quickly it's becoming, well, indispensable.
Yeah.
For boosting productivity, for staying competitive. We're definitely moving beyond just simple search. These AI tools are actively enhancing what developers can do, making them more efficient, more effective pretty much every single day.
Okay, so what does that look like? In practice, our sources point to 10 specific ways developers are using AI. It's like a new superpower. Maybe we don't need to list all 10, but what are some of the really impactful ones?
Absolutely. Yeah, the list is long, it's impressive, but some definitely stand out in terms of, immediate impact.
Okay, debugging. We've all been there, right?
Yeah.
Staring at some cryptic error message. These AI tools, they can help you quickly figure out where the bug came from. And often they even suggest a fix that actually works, like that classic cannot read properties of undefined in JavaScript. That the AI might say, hey, looks like the name parameter could be undefined when you call say hello. That's a specific lead.
And that's just a game changer, isn't it? Think about the hours saved, the frustration avoided. And beyond fixing bugs, AI really shines in areas like code generation too. You can just ask it to create, complex structures, boilerplate code, even whole application prototypes. You need a JavaScript event class with, say, name, date, location properties. Boom, the AI builds it out. Saves you all that typing.
That is incredibly powerful. But it makes you wonder, is the code always, perfect? What's the quality like?
That's a really crucial point. Yeah. While it's powerful, the quality of AI-generated code, it can vary a lot sometimes. You absolutely still need critical thinking, human review before you push anything live. It's a tool to augment your judgment, not replace it. But think about something like documentation. AI can generate or improve docs right from your source code. Comment a function following JSDoc standards automatically. It just takes your code and adds professional standard comments. That frees up developers for, more creative work.
Yeah, I can see that being hugely helpful. And for existing code bases, especially the messy ones, the undocumented ones, code explanation sounds incredibly useful there. The idea that AI can explain a complex function step by step, like how an palindrome function works, cleaning the string, comparing characters, that seems invaluable for getting new people up to speed or just understanding old code.
It absolutely is. And, beyond those, the sources highlight a whole range of other critical uses. Things like refactoring code, simplifying it without breaking it, or doing quick security audits, spotting simple vulnerabilities, even performance audits, suggesting optimization tips, like using modern image formats or lazy loading. Plus, AI can handle test generation writing unit tests for you, or dataset generation, creating structured data on demand. And just for learning, it's great at concept explanation, breaking down tricky ideas like JavaScript destructuring with clear examples. It's a really comprehensive toolkit.
And beyond just the types of help, the data tells a powerful story about time savings. A GitHub study, this was from 2024, found 55% of developers feel AI saves them over 30% of their time on projects. 30%? That's huge.
It is huge. And it lines up perfectly with what McKinsey found. Their study showed AI tools boosting developer productivity somewhere between 20% and 30%. So these aren't just novelties anymore. They're not experiments. They're becoming daily staples, really woven into the developer workflow. It's about optimizing, pretty much every step.
Okay, so what are these tools? What are developers actually using? The names we keep hearing. Things like GitHub, Copilot X, right? Based on GPT-4. Sounds like a beast for code completion, but it does more. Tests, docs.
Yeah, Copilot's a big one. Integrated right into IDEs like VS Code. Then you got Tab 9. It's known for being super fast with code completion. And interestingly, it can adapt to your internal projects while keeping the code confidential. Apparently quite popular with freelancers. Something like 65% reportedly use it. They probably value that speed and the privacy aspect.
And for bigger companies, the enterprise space.
There, Amazon Code Whisperer often comes up. It's more tailored for those larger environments. Offers secure code generation, industry-specific recommendations, often has compliance checks built right in, which is critical for regulated sectors, obviously.
Yeah. And I've heard of Replit Ghostwriter that's tied into their online platform.
Exactly. Integrated right into the browser-based Replit environment.
Yeah.
So you get contextual suggestions, real-time debugging. Really good for rapid prototyping. And Replit itself is massive, over 20 million active users monthly.
Wow. Okay. Any open source options for people who want more flexibility, maybe work offline?
Yep. CodeEM fits that bill. It's a free open source alternative. Supports, I think, over 70 languages. And yeah, it can work offline. Gives developers a sort of neutral, secure space to experiment and build.
So taking all these tools together.
Well, their collective impact is just undeniable. They are genuinely redefining what it means to write code, automating the boring stuff, the mundane tasks. And that lets developers focus on higher value things, the more creative, strategic problem solving. In fact, sources suggest that by 2025, something like 72% of developers are already using at least one AI assistant tool daily. That shows how fast this adoption has happened.
Okay, so AI is a massive productivity boost. That's clear. But here's where it gets really interesting and maybe a bit scary for some people. The big question, will AI actually replace developers? Our sources seem pretty direct on this. They say, no, the job won't disappear, but it will transform profoundly. So not replacement, but mutation.
Mutation's a good word for it. And that immediately brings up the crucial question, right? What does this transformation mean for your skills, for your career path? The core message isn't about becoming obsolete. It's about evolving, shifting from maybe just being a code writer to becoming more of an AI orchestrator. Your value moves towards strategic design, ethical thinking, creative problem solving, the stuff where human intuition is still irreplaceable. It's like Satya Nadella from Microsoft said, AI doesn't replace humans, it amplifies their potential.
Amplifies potential. Okay. So if AI is handling more of the routine coding, what's the unique value a human developer brings now? What are these new strategic skills we need?
Well, the shift is pretty significant. Developers now really need to understand how these AI models work, at least conceptually. They need to design robust technical architectures that actually use AI effectively. And it's about thinking in terms of human plus machine collaboration, managing the quality, the integrity of the code the AI produces. So yes, mastering traditional languages, Python, JavaScript, Java is still absolutely crucial. But now you also need to get good at optimizing prompts to guide the AI. And you still need to grasp fundamental algorithms to, understand what's going on under the hood.
That's fascinating. Guiding the AI. I keep hearing this term prompt engineering. Is that what you're talking about? That's a key skill now.
Exactly. Prompt engineering, basically the art and science of crafting effective queries for these generative AIs. That's a perfect example of these new hybrid skills. Another one is MLOps, machine learning operations. That's all about deploying, monitoring, maintaining AI models once they're built and running in production, making sure they're reliable, secure, performing well. It bridges traditional development with managing AI specifically.
Okay, so technical skills are evolving. But kind of surprisingly, our sources also really stress human skills. Things like analytical thinking, complex problem solving, resilience, adaptability, even emotional intelligence. That feels a bit counterintuitive when we're talking about more automation.
It does, doesn't it? But it makes sense when you think about it. As machines take over more computation, more routine tasks, where does human value really lie? It's in creativity, it's in building relationships, strategic thinking. That's where we shine. And the data shows it. By 2025, apparently 7 out of 10 employers see analytical thinking as essential. Plus, there's this growing need for AI ethics and governance, making sure AI is transparent, fair, compliant with rules like the AI Act. We need to actively prevent biases. Remember that Amazon CV screening tool issue. It learned bias from its data. We need humans to build responsible AI.
Right, responsible AI. So putting this all together, what does it mean for actual job titles? For the job market overall, are we seeing brand new roles pop up, or are existing jobs just changing?
It's really a mix of both. You're definitely seeing new roles emerge, things like AI architect for web projects, prompt specialist, AI solution integrator. These are becoming more common. The World Economic Forum predicts quite a bit of churn in the job market. They estimated, I think, 69 million new jobs created, but maybe 83 million displaced by 2027. It sounds stark, but...
Is there a positive side to that churn?
Well, the longer-term outlook might be positive. By 2030, the net effect could actually be a gain of around 78 million jobs globally.
Okay, so it's not necessarily about mass unemployment then. It's more like a massive reshuffling. Tasks get redistributed, new opportunities are created.
Precisely. Your specific job might not vanish, but it will almost certainly be augmented. You'll need new skills to work with the AI, interpreting its outputs, collaborating effectively, focusing on those higher-level human-centric tasks. And recruiters are already looking for this. That 2024 Code and Game study found 68% of tech recruiters are now specifically assessing how well candidates can use AI tools. It's becoming kind of a baseline expectation.
Okay, the opportunities sound immense, but let's be real. AI isn't making everyone jump for joy. You hear the excitement, but there's also worry. What are developers genuinely concerned about here?
And those concerns are very valid, yeah. An ITA survey found 40% of developers worry AI will replace at least some of their tasks. There are also real fears about over-reliance. Could we lose fundamental problem-solving skills if we always lean on AI? Could code become too standardized, losing creativity? And then there are those tricky ethical questions. If AI-generated code causes a security breach or has bias, who's actually responsible? We know these models, especially large language models, can sometimes be confidently wrong or introduce subtle bugs.
You mentioned chatgpt earlier. That sounds concerning. What is that exactly?
It refers to a genuine challenge businesses face. Employees using these powerful AI tools, often generative AI, without any official company approval or framework. One study found 55% of workers were doing this. It just highlights this urgent need for clear guidelines, for corporate policies, for secure ways to manage these tools responsibly. It's about managing risk, ensuring compliance, really.
Okay, so there are risks, there are concerns. What's being done to address them? How are we making sure we actually harness AI's potential responsibly? Not just individuals, but, companies, governments.
The big answer seems to be massive proactive investment in skills, upskilling and reskilling. You see companies like PwC investing, $1 billion over 3 years just to train all 65,000 of their U.S. staff in AI. IBM, Amazon. They have similar, really large-scale initiatives. This focus on internal retraining, it seems critical for preparing the workforce.
And it's not just the corporate giants, right? There are public efforts, too.
Absolutely. Public initiatives are playing a huge role. You've got the World Economic Forum's reskilling revolution, aiming to requalify 1 billion people globally by 2030. And closer to home, France's Objectif IA, MOOC, has already trained over 110,000 people. It really is a collective effort involving both private and public sectors. And I think the key takeaway here really is that AI's future isn't set in stone. It's not predetermined. It will be what we collectively decide to make it. That means integrating AI into education early on, valuing those soft skills more, fostering real conversations within companies like MAIF in France, holding an employee convention just to discuss AI. These are the steps needed to make sure AI becomes a tool for inclusion, for better work life, not just a source of anxiety.
So reflecting on all this, what really stands out to you from our deep dive today? For me, it's that the future isn't really AI versus humans. It's humans and AI collaborating, creating things that are maybe more innovative, definitely more efficient. It's a profound change, a mutation, like you said. And it's really inviting all of us to learn, adapt, and co-create this future.
Which really leaves us with the question, doesn't it? How will you embrace this augmented future? How will you contribute to shaping an AI-driven world that's not just productive, but also, profoundly human?
We really hope this deep dive into AI's impact on developers has been insightful for you. We certainly found it fascinating.
And for more deep dives into interesting topics just like this one, please do check out Le Podcast de Philippe. And hey, if you enjoyed our discussion today, maybe help us out. We're trying to reach our goal of 1,000 subscribers. Your support really does help us keep bringing you these essential insights.